What's up, everyone? My name is FlashStep from Blight Gaming, and I'm going to go over all the relevant mollies and smokes for Mirage. So the first smoke I'm going to show you is the Stair Smoke, which most people know by now. Funny thing is, I actually learned it like 3 days ago because I'd always have my teammates toss it for me because I'm lazy when it comes to smoke throwing. I know like a lot of smokes, but not every single one. So I just learned this one. But it's pretty simple, really generic. You line up, press yourself against this in the middle of it. You use this piece right here to line yourself up with this gap, and you can just toss right between it. You can go a little bit down too. It really doesn't matter as long as you're in between both these things and anywhere between this type of range. I usually toss from like about like right here, and it'll land right on the stairs for you. Next one is gonna be the middle bomb site smoke. This one's really good for like ecos if you're trying to get a plant down. So you line up in the middle of this post right here. You see this dillywop, right hand side of it, and then a little bit up.
I'm throwing smoke.
And it lands right in the middle for you. That one's really good to have people funnel out of halls, and then you can try to get a bomb plant down, just like get your economy pretty good. The next one I'm going to show you is like the Cte Smoke. There's two variations of it. I toss this one just because I hate jump throws, because I'm just terrible at them. I don't know what it is, but I'm just bad at it. So what I do is I just see this little thing right here to the right a little bit, and then you just walk through. You want to let go like right away too, because the more shallow it is, the better. That one might have been a little bit too far, but there you go. Like, see, it's not cutting off jump off at all. The other throw is the one where you line up in the middle of here, and then you're gonna put your crosshair right here, this dillywop, and then you're gonna jump throw. I'm terrible at jump throws, and hopefully that lands, but it does. Okay, so see how shallow that one is in comparison? That one really protects you from like jump up angles, but jump up is still stupidly strong. You still need someone watching it a lot of the time. So make sure that if you do either of those smokes, you have one person dedicated to either like mollying off the left hand side or flashing it off when planning. The next smoke is the jungle smoke. So I go in between both these columns, and then I use this line right here. You can see how there's multiple lines and bricks. You have to want the one on the right hand side that's closest to this wall, and then I go to the top, and then I have the bottom of my crosshair touching like just the top of the stones, and then I toss, and that smokes out jungle for you. The last one from this area that's like really relevant in my opinion, that most people don't throw. There's another like way to do it. I don't know how it's done, but the way I do this one is for deep jungle. Is from this. You see these little dots? Hopefully you do on your settings, and maybe I should show you my settings to make sure you all have this, because I've had someone recently say like, I don't see these little slivers that you see, because there's like a ton of them everywhere. So there's like these bigger dots. There's the first one here, and then there's a second one, and I put my crosshair right on the second one here, right? And then I have, see, this is the problem, I use couch models, so you're not going to be able to tell really where the lineup is, which I'm sorry for, but I'll try to give you like the best I can. So you see this like this roof right here. I put the top of my grenade like parallel to it. You see what I'm doing right there at the top of my grenade? I hold it right there, and then I let go. Now the best way, if you're not using couch models, to line this up, I would assume, is like I use this post because it's directly above this post really, and then to the left about, I don't know how far away, but you can probably find something pretty close if you just kind of like get a feel for it. Like a lot of the grenades I start to toss are like very feel worthy. So, and then you toss like that. And this goes for deep jungle. Now the cool thing about this deep jungle smoke is that when you have people running up connector, your two biggest fears running up connector are stairs and jungle. I mean, ticket booth with an op obviously, but hopefully you've had your A guys pressure him off enough to where he can't sit there anymore. So this deep jungle smoke does a lot of work. Oh, one more molly towards the A site. And this is gonna actually two smoke and a molly actually. This is the Lurk Smoke that I like to throw over at halls. So I line up with this. Like most of the time you're waiting a push because you don't want to get like dicked on by like a flash or something. But usually you just line it up here on this corner, and then you see like this. Visually, there's like a line there, right? Like it's kind of hard to see, but if you focus, you'll be able to see it. Come to the left-hand side and then go below it a little bit, and see where this lands. Now see how like this basically Lurk Smoke because I get so much room to work, and I can see default, and also if like he's like triple as well, and then also if you need to walk out, you can come out here and like peek towards jungle, peek towards stairs. Like this smoke is insanely good if you have an extra one on the A execute, and you have your halls guy basically like covering for someone to come through bench and stuff. Also, let me toss it again so I can show you. Also, it doesn't like mess with your molly setup either, because if someone's playing underneath the balcony, you can still toss your molly. So I'll toss it again. So against like visual lines to the left hand side and then down a little bit,
Smoke!
and it pops like right at the very edge of it. And then you can also molly here, because you see this corner right here. You get a feel for it eventually, but all you do is kind of go up here in this general area, and then it pops right in underneath. So that way you guys shut down the entire balcony side with just one player. And here I'll show you this kind of lineup if you don't have a feel for it yet without the smoke up. So what I used to do before I got that feel was you use this corner right here along with this corner. So think of a box like that, and you just want to do it at the top right hand side of the box. And it goes right there. And I go a little, you're actually supposed to go a little bit lower because then it catches up here as well. But those are all the smokes and mollies from the A side that are pretty relevant right now. Oh, JK, one more. So if you're playing a post situation with a bomb down, like there are a lot of rounds where you'd be playing post Mirage A, and CT is obviously like a really good rotate spot for counter terrorists. So if you have one guy save a smoke and he's over towards Tetris, you come up on this box right, and you put your crosshair. You see this big ass box? Put it at the top right hand side. It's so good for clutching because look where it lands. It's a perfect CT smoke. So that paired into the like middle of the round after the post plant is just so good. But yeah, those are all the relevant smokes and mollies I think on the bomb side A. I'm gonna swap over to middle right now, where people usually know this back mid smoke, but I'll show it anyway. You're just in the corner here, and then to the right on the antenna. That's your most basic top mid smoke that's always needed for like mid presence. Usually whenever you toss this smoke, you want to pair it with a molly towards connector. It has to be inside a connector though. And that way the opera can't just get a free shot when you cross. And also you're pairing this with a flash. I like to toss one right here a lot of the time. Just pops in the middle, and you can dodge it pretty easily because you know you're tossing it when you're tossing it. And then you want to get in the middle of these boxes for window smoke. Crosshair at the top of the roof, then run throw. That way there's never a gap because the smoke's really close to the opening towards middle side. There is a top connector smoke that I don't know how to toss and can't toss because of my models. Like there's no lineup for me ever, but it's generally in like this area, but it never lands. Now you'll see where this one lands. Like I get it really close a lot of the time, but there's no consistent lineup for me. So if you're not using that top connector smoke, which most of you probably can, because if you're using like classic models, it should be an easy lineup for something, I'm pretty sure. You're just tossing regular connector smoke like this. Like you're obviously clearing connector, and then just tossing it underneath that little booth to the left. It's a very common smoke that some people will mess up, but that's just always a guarantee that's gonna land where you need it to land. And then the last smoke that we use a lot of the time, if you're gonna be going up connector and you're holding it, and you know someone's cat, right? Like it's really hard to smoke it out deep enough to where you can get a good cover. But if you just come up here, you clear connector, and then you just smoke it off on the A. You have enough cover. Like he obviously has to push through this smoke, and it can be very like generic. It can be in any area really. It can be a little bit farther. And force him to come out of that smoke and make a play on you. And as long as you have one lurking or like watching that as you're running up, you should be fine. But those are all like the important smokes for middle. Okay, so now we have the B bomb site, which has like 3 or 4 smokes you probably should know. The first one's gonna be your Cte Smoke, which is like a really good smoke if they're playing more passive B and they're trying to retake from Cte or like towards get right area. So you basically just in the back of this wall, put your back to this corner, and then you put your crosshair directly on the left side of the roof, and that should land right here. Now the good thing about this smoke is that it forces players to either do one of 2 things. Makes them play behind the smoke and not help their teammate, or forces them to right here in this area. Which is like a fight you like. This fight right here is really good for tees. But if he's playing over here, I have a pop flash. I'm going to show you to basically take them out. This smoke right here, you just line up in the middle of this. This is for bench. This one paired with the Cte Smoke is like the two smokes you really need a lot of time for the B take if you want to do it successfully. So it's just right here. I just go up and hit the side of the roof. Oops, I moved my crosshair a little bit, but it should be fine. Yeah. And it lands right there just so that bench can't see you at all. So that paired with the Cte Smoke, there's only like a couple options for them to be playing in, either somewhere in sight or over towards get right area. Another really good smoke though, I like to use one of clutch situations a lot of the times, because if you know the opera's towards market, basically you can just nullify him. So you just come over to the lamp, and then middle of this, and then until you hit the top of this little roof dillywop.
Laying down smoke.
And then that basically smokes it out so the opera cannot pick you if you're coming out upper B. Like if you pair those two smokes together, there's only a couple options they have. That's insight over towards van, which is an easy fight for terrorists a lot of the time too, and over towards get right. And then if you pair those smokes with this flashbang right here, it's really hard to be able to counter it. I mean, obviously you have someone in the back, like hopefully flashing over here for anyone that's like in like a random off angle. But this pop flash right here, you just hug this wood, and then you put your crosshair. I put mine like right here. You see like this line, just one line up, and then run through.
Throwing flashbang.
And then it pops right there. That flashes anybody right here. That's the point of it. It gets anybody right here, and then if that person decides to, like, let's say there is a smoke down here and this guy's still playing behind, like, in jail area, that will get him through the smoke as well. It's just a really good flash. Like, those two flashes paired with those two smokes is enough to take a round, even if it's just an eco or something. So those are all the really relevant B smokes and flashes.